tunnel. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL. There by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019. Former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Here's Haskins. Steps away to his left. Gets this one to his running back, Wayne Gallman. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're touchdown, Washington. Guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Giants as they'll get their first opportunity here. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
A terrific running there to start the drive, as that's going to go for 15 and a quick first down as well. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of in the league.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Saquon Barkley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And Ingram holds it in. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 28.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this 1st drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Now Bridgewater. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Montez Sweat, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
The Redskins have the 1st down on a pickup of 18. Haskins now already over 100 yards passing in just this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give the Redskins 13 there and a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On on 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. Coming into this one ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dayon Buchanan able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Haskins will throw, being chased out left. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end...
And he's going to go down again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football. And guess what? I throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's 3rd and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Barkley. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to divert at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And able to find Dorsett. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 20-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A first down run by Barkley, unsuccessful, as he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield for the best ones.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we're going to look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now Haskins to throw it. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 4th down, here's Haskins. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Dwayne Haskins with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Redskins have taken the lead.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants!
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Throwing is Bridgewater. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Here's Bridgewater. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field. Definitely
a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. This quarterback now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing, Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out before he knew it. He'd hit the sideline. Now it's Haskins. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards that time, and a Washington first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Now a first carry for their fullback. He fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. It's the fullback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Well, it was second and goal. You're in there close. That's the fullback's comfort zone.
Not only is it his comfort zone, it's an expectation. That's what he's supposed to do. Turn and hand it to him. Big guys fire out. Find your way into the end zone.
Extra point try now for Walsh. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here. in this second quarter. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Now bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Redskins scoop it. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Walsh now for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good stop, baby.
Throwing on second down. Bridgewater. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A Redskin first down. The pickup, 15 yards. Haskins now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. They go play action now. Haskins sliding out of the pocket. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now Haskins. That's complete to Gallman. Touchdown, Washington. Wayne Gallman with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point try now for Walsh. And the route is on here in this first half.
makes the score Redskins 45.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. From the 29, Bridgewater. This is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Past the 20. He completes it to Tate. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. Finds his tight end Ingram. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run with Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the turnover, it's Haskins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Right back to him on first down. Shedding the tackle. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now they try the right side here. Fights off enough. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Wayne Goldman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at
come
maximum.
On. You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
That's
He
true.
scores 3 times.
Filet,
There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Walsh adds the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go!
And the Giants ready to come out now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Barkley. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Bridgewater. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they?
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Montez Sweat make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. To try again after the sack, Bridgewater. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. Play action now. Bridgewater. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And it's for pride now, but the Giants do get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. PAT up and good by Rosas. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Haskins. That's caught. It's Robert Tonyan, the tight end. A gain there of 21 yards. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On first down, it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Haskins. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Matthew Stafford has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Josh Gordon, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. In our game, it was Dwayne Haskins with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And New York set to take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
17 yards that time and a Washington first. Now a handoff looking right. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
They got to get to the 23 here on third. To throw is RG3. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Des Bryant, his fourth touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Walsh now for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That time a 6-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
They go play action. Bridgewater. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. This is Barkley. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. And Tate's got it. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Bridgewater. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants gain a bit of respectability. Rosas good with the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. The last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Trey Quinn, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point try now for Walsh. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. A solid first half for him, and so far a good start to the second half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He is playing so well. Really accurate with the ball, finding guys open downfield, and finding the end zone 3 times. That'll help offset the 1 interception.
Absolutely. Just that 1 pick with the 3 touchdowns so far. Throwing again on second down. Bridgewater. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing is Bridgewater. Open man right side is Ingram. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 33. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Bridgewater. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, 33 yards. And it's for pride now, but the Giants do get a bit closer. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So it's safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
After review of the play.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense.
Here I come! Here I come! Here I come!
They start on the ground with Gallman. Shreds the tackle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Griffin, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Paul Richardson. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Walsh now for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Barkley on first down, running into a wall as he stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw is Bridgewater. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On the move to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Still on his feet. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear, and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
On 1st down, Griffin. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 33.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They come out here in the I, and the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Now it's Griffin, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. RG3 taking it in as his guys continue to pour it on. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Walsh. And that will extend this big lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. He completes it to Tate. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Ryan Kerrigan in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. 3rd and long now after the sack. And we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Griffin looking long for his tight end Reed. It's caught at the 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Walsh adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So that drive, 4 plays, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Bridgewater. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw, Bridgewater. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you've got to expect to get more on the passing play.
A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. Dorsett's got it. By Tate. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 19.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him.